Hello, Northwest Valley of Peoria. My name is Tanu, and you can call me T. For the next few minutes, I would love to invite you to be for real. We're looking to open a place called Westy's here in the Northwest Valley of Peoria, a small organic kitchen and juice shop with a big purpose. We're hoping you'll join us through this crowdfunding campaign and take this journey with us. Before you dismiss it as just another health shop with bland, cardboard-like, tasteless, unexciting food, lend me your ears and let me paint you a different picture. Westy's is going to serve tasty, all-organic food and will be locally sourced as much as possible. There's an underserved population here in the Northwest Valley, and we want to give them a new, exciting option. Not just for them, but the people around them as well.
Figuring out what to eat, what to feed my family has been a struggle for years. You never know what your kids are gonna eat on a daily basis, what they're gonna just throw a fit about. Adding on top of that, when you've realized like, hey, these foods make me feel like junk or make my kids act like crazy people, then there's even a bigger struggle.
Food intolerances is a huge kind of problem looming these days. Lots of people deal with it, and my family did as well. One way that we've been able to overcome a lot of that is through our food, healing our gut.
My youngest has autoimmune disorder, so we're working with her to try to get her to eat as best as she can to keep those disorders from flaring up.
The life of like having a child with allergies or like an autoimmune disease is like really secretive. Like a lot of people don't talk about it.
Completely transitioning your life to something is really hard and overwhelming. I always take the approach of I just want to be better. If the choices I made a year ago, if I can make some of them better this year, that's progress.
If you're needing to eat gluten-free or you're trying to cut out dairy, maybe you're having to eat vegan and vegetarian right now, or maybe you're just looking to add more fruits and vegetables into your diet, maybe it's this. You'd appreciate more transparency in what goes into your food.
Don't take everything at face value. Don't assume everything that you go out and you can purchase or eat is good for you.
Transparency. We crave it right now, and especially right now, in our communities. We want to know the truth. What are you putting in our food? What are we eating?
What comes to mind when I hear GMO is chemicals. And I almost feel like I don't want anything to do with it, but I don't know what it is.
Eating organically is important. The organic foods have more nutrients, your vitamins, your minerals, and the green leafies are just a wealth of vitamins and minerals. Plants, a plant-based diet, it has protein, it has carbohydrates, and has a little bit of fat to it, and it's a healthy way to eat.
Food needs to be healthy, right? Organic doesn't mean tasteless, colorless, drab. Organic can be good.
We don't look at what's created and just take that for what it is, the good gift that it is. Instead, we look to counterfeit our own version of it, something that we've designed, we've had our hands in. And when it comes to food and eating and that kind of stuff, what we've seen is God has created so many amazing things for us to eat. And He's created each of those things naturally and with intentionality to be eaten and taken as they are.
But real food is not been processed food. And I think that our bodies are just made to digest and nourish from real food rather than from all the chemicals that we put in it.
We don't want to eat something that's genetically modified. We want to eat it in its raw, true state. Because when you start altering things, how is that going to alter internally in us as we consume it?
It's making me think a lot of stuff right now. I gotta rethink a lot of things now.
When I know that I am eating well and eating the things that I know are fueling my body correctly, I feel like a different person.
Fresh offerings that are organic, which are non-GMO, they're healthy, they're delicious, whole food. Nothing that has ingredients you can't pronounce. The friends and family with you who may not be on a restrictive diet, they would also be able to enjoy this food. We'll be serving a lot of plant-based options too, like salads and sandwiches, toast, cold-pressed juices, smoothies, baked goods, even organic teas and coffees, and tons of specials. Westy's is looking for a home west of 83rd Avenue and north of Pinnacle Peak. We're not venturing out alone either. We're gonna have an incredible team behind us. Did you know that Phoenix is home to some of the best bakers in the country? And there are farms so close to us that can supply outstanding produce. We'll be teaming up with some of the Valley's best who believe in this vision. We look to be a conduit to bring the best fresh food to this community that we love, this community that we live in. We want you to know that eating well is not far from reach. We look to do things a little differently at Westy's.
This is something where we have to come together as a community and we have to decide that this is important to us.
I think one of the pieces that a lot of us are missing right now is true community. Now more than ever.
I absolutely think we need a place to gather around this concept of real food and bring that to the community in a new way. There's really nothing like that in the West Valley.
With all of her food allergies, it just kind of makes it impossible to like get that luxury. And having a place like that where I can take us all and go for a quick lunch or would be so beneficial to just know what's in the food that I'm going to buy her rather than having to ask a waitress 100 questions on what kind of oil do you cook this in, and because she can only have olive and avocado oil.
Imagine a hands-on class where you're learning how to make vinaigrettes, something as simple as salad dressing, something you can do 1,000 different ways at home. And all the while, you know every single ingredient that went into it. Imagine fun kids classes where they can come and maybe make their own lunch with fresh fruits and vegetables, or a unique Friday date night where you can come and learn something practical together. Enjoy great food and great company.
When I think about kids cooking, I love it because it's not only just a basic life skill, but it's also, it can be a family thing.
To have someone be willing to take the lead in creating a healthy community and making it easy, local, fresh, and community-oriented, I think any community would be eager, excited, inspired. The impact of that can be for generations to come because you never know what a place like that can actually start.
I think it's time that we have some real food, that we have a place that is going to have real, true food to fill our system that is clean eating. So that way you can walk into a place and know that everything that you order on that menu is going to be good for you and fueling for you and make your body feel good.
Many times I come across individuals that aren't doing any self-care. This is a way to do self-care.
I think a place where a community can gather together is a terrific idea over food, over a place to learn, a place to experiment, a place to taste.
Lastly, let me tell you another reason why Westy's needs to exist. We all know someone who's fighting serious battles with health and food. It breaks our heart. From tricky allergens, heart disease, chronic pain, and unfortunately, cancer. In the Northwest Valley, we have a population of warriors out there who could use fresh, organic food and a little bit of encouragement on how food can actually become a sidekick for their battles ahead. Maybe you know a caregiver who's been so busy getting others well. That selfless caregiver has been working so hard that their health and their well-being was pushed all the way down the priority list, and now no one's taking care of them. It doesn't stop there. We'd love to bring healthy food options to help our first responders, our teachers, school staff, local health professionals, you name it. We all need better food.
It is not uncommon for human nature to want to take care of somebody else, your kids, your family, your coworker, your friend, and people will put themselves out there to always try to do something for someone else.
A lot of caregivers tend to want to put first the needs of the person that they love and that they're trying to take care of. And so, you know, it comes back to this, how how and what resources are there in communities to make it easy, affordable, and even just fun and the norm, so that if you're wanting to take care of yourself, you're not like, is anybody else doing this? You know, that it's just like, oh my gosh, there's a whole group of people over there doing it.
When you think about a place coming into our lives, like a place like Westy's coming into our lives, and realizing, okay, this is bigger than food. This is bigger than just, well, trade that thing for this thing, or don't eat that, do eat this. But they're saying what we want to do is refocus people around the table, not just what's on the table, but the table itself, where we can engage in conversations that are silly and pointless and fun, but also challenging and meaningful and insightful. And we take hold of all the best parts of real community. That's changing.
My conversations that I've had with T have been very inspiring, because I feel like he's taking a personal responsibility with this endeavor to ensure the integrity of what he's giving his community. He's put a lot of thought, effort, heart into this to help people. He is trying to help us be better individuals so that we can go home to our families and we can be better parents, better wives, better husbands.
I know everything in me says I want to do better. I want to feel better. I mean, it's not like I'm eating this stuff and I feel amazing afterwards. I do know that I force myself to eat fruit only because I know I got to do better. I don't really know what I'm doing, you know? So the first fruit that I see, I'm buying it so that I could not eat the muffin.
If we don't take care of ourselves as teachers, as administrators, as doctors, as those of us who are responsible, if you want to use that word, responsible for people in a larger circle, if you're not doing it yourself, then you're not giving 100%. You just can't. You can't be less than 100% and still think that you can give 100% to somebody else.
My capacity to show up in the midst of difficult situations in people's homes is different when I'm taking care of what I'm eating, how often I'm eating, like direct correlation. How are the healthcare workers taking care of themselves in order to pass that on to those we're in front of? Like if they're watching us, are we teaching by example?
I read a quote once and it stuck with me that medicine is sick care, food is health care. And I think that's what Westy's is trying to offer us, this health care, good tasting, good for you food. And we all have to be a part of that to make it work. And I'm in, I hope you are too.
I want to challenge this community to think about joining our campaign for real food for the next 40 days. I believe this community can really get behind something so different, yet something so needed.
If a community can say, hey, listen, I kind of want to dedicate to make this happen, not just because it feels good in the moment, but because I know that it's the right thing to do, watch what happens. Put the stake in the ground and watch what happens.
There's not a lot of places now in any avenue that there's community spaces and places where people can come together for not just a cause, but for an idea. And people are always looking for something that they can get behind and that they can have community. And so I think that'll be great.
It's just really nice to pass on knowledge. And you know, a pleasure shared is a pleasure multiplied. And so it's really a gift to me when someone can enjoy what you enjoy with you.
Northwest Peoria, thank you for watching this video and considering coming with us on this journey. On our website, you'll be able to track our progress through our GoFundMe. We'll also have plenty of updates and news on the project, as well as resources and community testimonials of those who'd love to see this vision come to life within our very own neighborhood. If this effort speaks to you, feel free to share it. I cannot wait to see what happens over the next 40 days. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to check us out on the website. We'll be there to answer any questions you have. This is going to be a beautiful and unique community effort, and we're excited to have the chance to serve you. Thank you for being for real community and real food.
Let's be for 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 real food for them.
Let's be for real food.
Let's be for real food.
Let's be for real food.
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 Real food.
Peoria, let's be for real food.